Welcome back to another jam-packed MMA episode of the Kick Him in the Head podcast. And as always, I am your host, Yao. And tonight we have another jam-packed MMA episode talking EFC 133. EFC 133 happening this coming Thursday. That's tomorrow, the 7th of May in Johannesburg at the EFC Performance Institute or the World Sports Betting Arena. Now, this is not going to be a long show. We're going to go straight into it. This card, I've heard it's not a very good card, but I'm really enjoying this card. A lot of great fights on it. We've got Vilakazi versus Low, Martinu versus Ngoya, for those who don't know how to say it, Mambo versus Zola, Mabilo versus Faro, Majuba versus Ban Asvachim, who we haven't seen before, Jula versus Jazbi, Mukari versus Setwape. Bad news is back. Ayanda Zwane versus Nakati, Cesar Nakati. And for the main card, we have Emerson, the coolest kid, Pedro, out of Mozambique, one of my favorite fighters, definitely one of my head kick favorites, against Triple S, Somanda Sovengle, Subusiso Sovengle. Roevan de Beers coming up against the General Godknows in Ndlovu. Brandon Santos versus Lihle, Rush Hour in Ngamntwini. So if you hear me saying Lihle in Ngamntwini, I'm talking about being stuck in Rush Hour. Then we've got Hanru the Bully Botha versus Ju Yemba, Shadrick Yemba, Baba Yaga. Fresh off a win at PFL Africa. He's back at the EFC for a co-main against someone from Team CIT. So this is going to be a good test for him. And then in the main event, we have some serious violence loading with Zaakir, the deer-dragging Badat, versus Ziko, the gorilla, the former champion, Makengele. This is champ versus former champ in what's going to be a muscle-bound, violent fight. Oh, I can't wait for that fight. This for me is what I call a stack card. I'm really enjoying this card. I think it's a lot of good matches for fighters who are looking to make a name, fighters who are looking to come back off losses, and fighters that are looking to get a championship if we're looking at the title fight here in the welterweight division. But let's get straight into it. Tonight, we're talking odds. We're talking who you should pick, who you shouldn't pick, and who you can make some coin off, right? If you've got a couple of units, who to put it on. So let's start with the first fight. We've got Sianda Vilakazi versus Tyrell Lowe. Sianda Vilakazi did not make weight. The odds have him as a slight underdog, but I think if you're looking to definitely solidify getting some money on an underdog here, you can definitely take Tyrell Lowe. I don't really rate fighters who don't make weight, and unfortunately, Sianda Vilakazi did not make weight, so I'm all in for Tyrell Lowe on that fight. Ziko Martinu versus Pilani Ngoya. We've got Ngoya as the underdog in this fight against Ziko Martinu, who has some experience in the EFC. This one's a very tough one to call. Both inexperienced. Martinu, yeah, he's got a couple of wins, but I think he's good for that money. We know that EFC brings out great debutants, but I'm going with the experienced fighter, slightly more experienced fighter in Zeko Martinu in this fight. Then the next fight, we've got Ash Zola up against David Mambo. We haven't seen David Mambo in a while. He's been out for some time. He is back. Ash Zola, former Contender Series winner at EFC. I think I give him this fight. Actually, wait a second. In the Martinu fight, Zeka didn't make weight either. So let's go with the debutant in that one. The underdog, Pilani Ngoya. Underdog in the previous fight. But Ash Zola versus David Mambo. Mambo's the underdog. I'm going to go with the favorite here. Both guys are giving you good money. In both these fights, even if you pick the winner, you're still going to make some good money because the odd makers don't really know where they're sitting right now. By the way, these odds are courtesy of World Sport Betting, and these odds are for entertainment purposes only. But I'm going to go with Ash Zola. He's not on exactly a winning streak. He keeps losing, but he's a skilled fighter. He tends to give up, but so does Mambo. So this is some good matchmaking in this fight. And I've got Ash Zola. I think he's going to just squeeze it past David Mambo in this fight. Then we have Tumeleng Mabilo. Unfortunately, he came up short in his debut in his last fight, coming up against Grand Pharaoh, another debutant. Shout out Grand Pharaoh, one of my favorite fighters. Always have great chats with him. He's coming in as the slight underdog in this fight. But once again, if you're looking to bet on a few fights, these three fights on the prelims are a good place to make some money. Mabilo's a great fighter fighting out of versus I'm going to go with Grant Farrow. He's finally made weight. Grant was struggling to make weight. He was fighting middleweight. Now he's come all the way down to bantamweight, which is a hell of a cut. But I think he's going to manage to squeeze it out against Tumale Mabilo in this fight. So I'm going to go with the underdog in this fight in Grant Farrow. Then we have the perennial fighter out of Pretoria, Given Majuba, coming up against a debutant in Seth van Aswagen. Wow, the odds on these fights, all these fights so far on the main card are very, very, very tight, very close. But I'm going to go with Given Majuba. I think his extensive experience is what's going to help him just pull it through. He is the favorite just by 2 points there. Very, very close fight, the odds have it. But I'm going to go with Given Majuba. Then the next fight we have Vuyo Jula versus Lukman Jazbi. I'm going to go with Vuyo Jula. I think with the work he's put in recently, the win he's gotten recently, I think he's ready for this. Once again, very, very close odds, 1.4 to 1.44. But I don't think I'm going to go with the dog in this one. I'm going to go with Vuyo Jula in this fight to win that one. Then we've got Moses Mukari, the son of Egypt, up against Bad News Musa Setwape. Setwape is the underdog in this fight. Not much money to be made on this fight. I think I'm going to go with Moses Mukari. I think it's just been very tough for Musa Setwape recently. Just the results just aren't going his way, and there's something missing. I think it's the go of it. He just doesn't have the go. When he's in the fight, he's fighting well, he's defending well, he's fighting the fight he needs to fight, but he just needs that extra go, that danger, that I don't care, I don't give a rat's ass, I'm gonna go for it. And if he does go for it, he could possibly win this fight, but he hasn't seemed to show that in his last couple of fights. So I'm going to go for Moses Mukari in his fight against Musa Bad News Setwape. Then we've got Ayanda Zwane coming up against Sizem Nikati, who is an absolute legend in the Hex, very experienced fighter. So is Ayanda. But in this fight, I think I'm going to go with... Yeah, this one's got me under pressure. This fight, though. I think I'm going to go with Ayanda. I think Ayanda's just going to outpoint Sizwe. He's going to keep it range as he does. Sizwe loves to go for the double leg takedowns, ground and pound, but I don't think he's going to catch Ayanda. We know Ayanda can run. Ayanda runs, so I don't think Nikati's going to manage to catch him and get any form of takedown. If he does get a takedown, I think he definitely will probably win the fight, but I don't see him catching Ayanda Zwane, unfortunately. Shout out Case Files SA. Yes, the prelims are about to be lit. Musa has been having it tough, and I don't see it not being tough for him. And Ayanda don't run. Ayanda don't run. Don't run, Ayanda. Don't run. Ayanda, don't be Murife. With that said, I think I'm going to go with Ayanda Zwane in this fight. I don't think Sizwe is going to catch him. He's going to run. Sizwe's not going to catch him. Then we come up to the main card. We have Emerson, the coolest kid, Pedro, against Subusiso Triple S. Somandla Sovendle. Let's go. I love Somandla Sovendle. He's the underdog in this fight against Emerson Pedro. Emerson is one wild fighter, and we know Emerson has the head kicks. Ayanda, I'm reading the comment here. Comment says Ayanda has ground game too. Yes, he does, but you don't want to be caught by someone from CIT, which is Sizwe Nikati. You don't want to get caught by him and ground and pounded. That's never a good day in the office. So for that reason, I'm going with Ayanda Zwane in that fight. But Emerson Pedro, Triple S Somandla Sovendle, I'm going with Pedro, the coolest kid. 2 reasons. Unfortunately, Triple S is on a losing streak, but Pedro, because of his head kicks. Somandla Sovendle got caught in one of his previous fights, his title fight against Faiz Jacobs by a head kick. Left high kick, caught him on the temple, took him out, fight was over. Emerson Pedro loves to throw head kicks. That's what he does half the time. So I'm going for Emerson Pedro in this fight. Coolest kid for the win. Head kick, let's go. Kick him in the head is what I'm hoping will happen. Love you, Triple S, but just block those head kicks and let's see what happens. I don't care. Pedro has to win this one, says Case Files SA in the chats. There's a sound that is too high. Can you hear me? Because I can hear me, and I hope you can hear me, and let's get it. Let us go. Then in the next fight on the main card, we have Roevan versus Godknows and Ndlovu, the general. General coming in as the underdog. Roevan is the favorite, and I'm not going to say much except for Roevan because he's going to submit Godknows. Maybe it might be a rear naked choke, it might be an ankle lock, it might be a guillotine, but that fight's not going to last more than 2 minutes. If you're going for the underdog in Godknows and Ndlovu, good luck with your money because I just don't see how he does it against Roevan. Next fight we have is Brandon Santos against Lihle Rush Hour Ngamntwini. Woo! We saw Ngamntwini losing in his fight in the flyweight Grand Prix. He didn't seem to have much of an answer there against Tumelo Manyamala. But if we look at the caliber of Tumelo Manyamala, what he brings to the table, how he's now the EFC flyweight champion, it was a tough fight. But Ngamntwini is a fantastic fighter. His ground game is phenomenal. He takes it slow. He grinds. And I think he's just going to grind out Brandon Santos. So if you're looking for an underdog that's going to make you a good return, put some units on Lihle Ngamntwini at 2.15. I think that's a good return if he pulls this one out. Heck, even if you pick Brandon Santos and put a few units on that at 2.1, that's not bad. But I'm going Lihle Ngamntwini all the way. The Case Files SA says Ngamntwini's comeback is about to be lit. You can just feel it. I agree with you. Ngamntwini is going to take it slow. Rush Hour, which sounds contradictory, but that's what he does. He takes it slow and he grinds you out. So let's see how Lihle does in this fight. Then we have the co-main event, Hanru, the bully Botha versus Shadrick, Drew, Baba Yaga, Yemba. Now, Baba Yaga, love Baba Yaga. He's now a PFL EFC fighter. He fights PFL, then he fights EFC, then he fights PFL, then he fights EFC. He's just come off a win at PFL Africa. So he's on a high right now. His loss is completely forgotten against Sankara, and he's here to take another win against the CIT. He's here to take a CIT scalp. That's what he's here for. That's what he's here for, Baba Yaga. Hanru Botha, great fighter. We know what CIT brings, but with those odds, 2.7 versus 2.75, I'm going with the underdog in Drew Yemba. I think. Oh wait. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be too confident in this one. I mean, this is Team CIT we're talking about, right? Okay, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. It's going to be a tough fight, but I am going to go with Baba Yaga. I think the experience he's had recently, going to PFL, getting his first loss, that head kick that he learned from, and that's what's important about how he's come back. He learned from that loss, from getting, honestly, one of the nastiest head kick KOs I've seen, definitely on the African continent, or ever. And for that reason, I think he's come back much stronger if I've seen his last two fights. So I think he's going to find a way to grind it out. Apex is going to grind it out against Team CIT, and I'm going to go for Baba Yaga in his co-main event fight against Hanru Botha. Case Files SA says that it's given. I don't know. Let's see if it's a given. Let's see. Sankara cooked him. He scrambled his brains in the right way because he's come back a much better fighter. So I'm happy to see him in the Hex for the co-main. And now, to the main event of the evening. Violence loading. We have a muscle-bound welterweight championship fight. And seeing Ziko Makengele, seeing Zaakir Badat face off, these two muscular, muscle-bound guys who we know can actually go at least 3 rounds. Let's see if these guys have championship rounds in them, if it even gets there, because if one of these boys hits, I mean, there's probably going to be a knockout. I don't see this fight going all the way. I don't see how this fight goes all the way because these guys are just jacked. If it does go past the 3rd round, someone's probably going to gas. The question is who? Will it be Ziko? Will it be Zach? I don't know. But this fight, I'm very, very, very excited about. The odds don't give you much to pick from. Who do I think is going to win this fight? You know, CIT, if you look at what Diego Bandu did against Luke Michael, I can't even say smashed him. He destroyed him. He broke him. He obliterated him. He eviscerated him. Give me more words. Luke Michael was basically the World Trade Center towers, and Diego Bandu was what we believe to be a plane. Sure. And he eviscerated him. He wasn't even in that fight. Even when he was almost being taken down by Luke, he stuffed them all. His ground game was fantastic. His ground and pound was fantastic. And this is the same team that Ziko Makengele, the former champion, comes from. Zaakir Badat, we know he's a ground specialist, judo specialist, BJJ specialist. He's fantastic on the ground, but his striking is also phenomenal. So it's a very, very close fight. And even the odds say it's a close fight. 1.18 to 1.2. Ew. Very, very close. But who's my money on? Before I give you that, let's see. Case Files SA says it's alleged that Badat didn't win the fight against Peace Ngopane. Or didn't want to fight Peace Ngopane. Yes, we've heard rumors of ZAK ducking Peace, but he was injured at the end of last year and he couldn't take the Peace fight. And Peace wanted to fight, so Peace fought and he won. Peace fought again, PFL, and he won. So if Peace is coming back for that title, whoever's holding that title, guaranteed. I don't think ZAK was ducking. He was injured because you can't duck Peace and then fight against Ziko. You can't duck Peace for Ziko. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you duck Peace, you're going to go and fight someone else. You're not going to go and fight Ziko Makengele, the gorilla, the former champion. There's no way ZAK was ducking. He was injured, but I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. Broke his spirit. Yeah, he broke his spirit. We're talking about Diego Bandu versus Luke Michael in terms of the broken spirit there. So now the question is, who am I going with based on these odds? Based on what I know of these two fighters, it's about to be a collision, but I'm going to go with the favorite. I'm going to go with Zaakir Badat. Not because I don't think Ziko Makengele can do it, but I think ZAK has been carrying himself very well as a champion. He's been very intelligent about how he approaches his fights. When you listen, and I think there we have it. Yeah, there we go. So this is the weigh-ins, right? Everyone made weight except for the fighters I mentioned earlier. If I look at how ZAK approaches his fights, he is ready for what Ziko's going to bring. Ziko, phenomenal fighter, and he could take it. The odds say it, but I'm going for death by connection. But I'm going to go for Zaakir Badat to retain the welterweight championship of the EFC. And that is the card. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. That was your best bets for EFC 133 happening tomorrow, the 7th of May in Johannesburg at the World Sports Betting Arena. It's going to be an absolutely electrifying night. So if you are watching or you plan to watch, you can catch it on efcworldwide.com. If not, head over to the arena. I won't be there this time around. They didn't give us tickets. But it's going to be an amazing fight night. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, until next time, don't forget to kick him in